Welcome to this week's edition of Ask Coach Catasha. Let's get into what we got today. Hey, Catasha. Hey. I recently had a hysterectomy due to reoccurring fibroids. My doctor explained to me about the procedure. My doctor explained how the procedure would induce menopause, but no one told me about the changes to my sexual experiences. Since the surgery, it has become so difficult to orgasm, if it happens at all. I feel so betrayed. I love sex, and this is messing with my self-esteem. My boyfriend is also missing the amazing experiences we used to have. What happened to my orgasm, and why wasn't I prepared for this change? Woo. Okay, so this is one of the things that I get more often than I probably should be getting. A lot more as we're getting up in age. I don't know how old you are, but people are tired of dealing with the pain and all the things that come. I have grown up with people who experience fibroids my entire life, so I know the kind of pain that when it's time for your cycle, like how that can debilitate you, right? And it used to be, they would wait and wait and wait because you wanted to get pregnant, but they're making that change sooner, making those decisions sooner. In that process, what they're not doing is talking to you about how that's going to change your orgasm, your libido. I mean, they do kind of discuss the libido in the menopause section, but doctors are so afraid to talk about sex, and even if they have the knowledge on it, it's just a sticky place. So I don't know what kind of surgery you had. So let's talk about some of the things that happens during a hysterectomy. So usually during a hysterectomy, you can have a partial, you can have a radical. Sometimes they leave your ovaries, sometimes they take your ovaries and they take your uterus, depending on what's going on. And sometimes they take your cervix as well. Sometimes they take the whole thing, in cases of like cancer or things like that. So depending on what has been removed, if you still have an ovary, at least one, you may still be able to, get to that orgasm. You may still retain some of your libido, and allows you to naturally move into menopause versus taking it all. And so since they're talking to you about menopause, I'm assuming that they took your ovaries as well, because your ovaries is what delivers the estrogen to your body and what causes you to have that monthly cycle and the process of getting ready for a baby. But that's not the most important part, especially when it comes to your sexual health. So new research has shown that your cervix plays a really big part in your orgasm. There's nerves that go through there that are essential to helping you get to that orgasm. So if you've had your cervix removed, you may experience not being able to reach that orgasm, or having such a difficult time getting to that orgasm, and that orgasm not being as powerful as it was before. So that may be the case if you had to get your cervix removed as well. That may be what's happening, is that, when they go in there, because they try to save the ovaries, that's the thing, but they don't necessarily care about the other parts. And those other parts do play an integral part in you being able to experience an orgasm due to the nerves. So they do have what's called nerve sparing surgery, where they go in and they try to work around and save as much as they can. I have been hearing, I do not know this is confirmed, but from my clients and from the people who come to me, that they are just taking everything, just trying to get it all out the way, even for fibroids. And so by doing that, it definitely will have an effect on your sexual health. If they take your cervix, you're going to experience prolapse, meaning stuff's going to, because that cervix is what separates the inside of the body from the outside of the body in the biggest terms. So that's why you can't lose anything in the vagina like you can lose it up the anus, because that cervix only has a small hole that's just for sperm. There shouldn't be other things that are going in there. And if they are putting other things in there, which they could for like birth control, stuff like that, it has to be a surgical procedure. So that cervix is what separates the inside of your body from the outside of your body. They take that cervix out. That's gonna make some of that. It takes the wall for the stuff that's inside to meet the outside. So you can experience vaginal prolapse. It also has vaginal shortening because you don't have your cervix in there to do that tenting process to move up to make space for the whatever you're trying to insert into the vaginal canal. It could cause vaginal shortening and all those types of things. So I'm hoping that you are able to get at least have an orgasm. If you can have an orgasm, that would make it easier for you to do some more research on your body and see the best ways. You may have to look for new ways to chase that orgasm. Now, some of it, if like I said, if your cervix has been removed and they just took everything out, that is going to make it exponentially more difficult. But that just means you can do more work. You have to do more work, which sucks, especially if you have it easy. If orgasms come to you easy. Some of us are used to doing that more work to find those orgasms. So you may have to do different things. You may have to spend more time in your arousal. You absolutely use lube because removing that is also going to have an effect on, the amount of moisture, the amount of wetness that you make down there. So you may have to just use some different ways to get to that orgasm. And I know that these are non-conventional ways, especially if the orgasm has always been easy for you to get. For others, that is their normal for them to fight for their orgasm to get there. So you may have to do some of those other things, practice breathing techniques, do some research, and find something that feels comfortable for you. Even if they did take everything, it doesn't mean that you have to have a less than sex life. It will be different than the one that you had before, but it doesn't mean that it has to be non-existent now. So don't let these changes in your body deter you from looking for new ways to experience orgasms. There are people who are experiencing orgasms who have even less than you have. It's just how you get there, how you want to do it. There are people who have orgasms from nipple stimulation. There's all kinds of other things that you can tap into if you're open to learning your body all over again. I definitely do apologize that this is not common, a part of the common conversation surrounding hysterectomy. It makes me feel sad because most people will never talk to anybody about it. They won't know who to discuss that with if their doctors didn't discuss it with them. So I'm so sorry that this is something that you had to learn the hard way. If you are on the cusp of getting a hysterectomy or you're thinking about it, make sure that you're advocating for yourself, that you're requesting the nerve sparing surgeries, that they're not just going in taking out everything just because it's the easiest thing to do, and that you are preserving and trying to keep as much of your sexual health as possible. Okay. If you have any questions or you need a specific, hey, this is what I have going on, can you tell me what to do? You can definitely reach out to me at expressionofrepression@gmail.com or Coach Catasha at expressionofrepression.com. Okay. Play nice.